there, I was thinking about the Prem Chopra bell. And I'm not very fond of Prem Chopra. So what did I do? All the time I kept thinking that if I'm speaking and I can speak on outdoor classroom learning and safety and education in the same non-stop 12 hours, 24 hours. So what do I do? So the little 2 hours I had, I made a script. And I thought I'll go exactly by script. I made my script for 7 minutes. I kept 30 seconds for coming up and down the stage. And I kept 1 minute for the award they're going to give me, so that I have exact 10 minutes. I kept another minute for a mic faltering. This is EdTerra. So good morning. We were all glued to the television last month when we all watched with concern and awe the ordeal and the miraculous rescue of the 12 Thai boys who were stuck with their football coach in a flooded Tham Luang cave complex in Thailand. This was a rare case of a well-meaning student excursion going awfully wrong. For many eventualities, it is hard to predict and plan. But for most others, proper planning, risk assessment can ensure avoidance of such mishaps. My dear principals and educators here, I am Hima, and today I am going to speak to you on the areas that you may wish to consider when you choose your next outdoor travel partner. We are entrusted with the responsibility of nurturing the most precious commodity under the sun. But when it comes to student travel, in God we trust. You know, I wanted to say a lot of things here, but I'll be short as I said. When it comes to safety, we are to share that in the last few years, we have been witnessing that there is a welcome shift from a growing number of schools which have started inquiring about the safety assessment process, both instituted for domestic and international travel. To expand the horizon of learning, schools and institutes have now started experimenting on outdoor classroom learning systems. Schools are already talking about outdoor classroom learning, practical application, ensuring exposure to the vast world outside the confines of classroom. I am a proud propagator, as I said, of outdoor classroom learning and well-meaning, well-done student travel outside the classroom. EdTerra. Now the goal here is that, ladies and gentlemen, that we first to change the way we view the travel by offering outdoor classroom learning programs that complement in-class learning. And the second is to integrate the outdoor education program within the curriculum. Now here, education and travel has two major components. The first is education. Of course, education outside the boundaries of the classroom, learning away from the blackboards and books. And the other first is safety and security of the students. Now, to be fruitful and effective, both have to be honed to perfection. Let us talk about education very briefly. As educators, you should be easily able to identify activities, workshops, tools handed over to you and to the students. Educators, my dear educators, the people who travel with the students are very important. So the mentors, the people who are traveling, who will interact with the students, have to be reviewed as well, because they will always leave the mark and will make sure learning happens. How do we measure these learnings, outcomes? Now there are endless ways in which we can measure these learnings. And I can give examples, you can have presentations, boards, etc. But what is important here is, how do we make sure that the evidence of this learning is reaching to the school and to the parent? So that is where the whole thought comes. Let us address the most important issue now, safety. because I have to remember Prem Chopra. In my 25 years in education, 10 of which I have spent in student outdoor classroom learning, there is one vital thing that I have learnt. While the wards enjoy the travel, the principals, management, and the parents have sleepless nights. For us, the biggest question here is, now how do we address this? And most importantly, resolve it. The timing is incorrect, sorry. Okay. Safety at the very basic level is a psychological state of mind, which is created on the basis of experiences and the information. For instance, they're an agency I know for last 15 years. And you trust them because you think you trust their experience for last 15 years. Now this is the illusion of safety, the safety net we create around ourselves. The law of averages is bound to catch up. The reality is that the safety risk mitigation is not built into each and every process of student education travel. And if the safety hazard response is not clearly outlined, then we are only talking about notional safety. Safety, unfortunately, comes at a cost, and the lowest price will generally be giving you the lowest level of safety. Hurricane Sandy hits the coast of US in 2012. We had close to 250 students that were there who were supposed to take a flight out of New York. Emirates kept their office open for EdTerra for 2 days, 24/7, to make sure that each child flies out safe in 48 hours. So, size and reputation are the two important criteria you may wish to consider while keeping in mind the selection of your next travel partner. No matter how much we wish it, when we travel, things do go wrong. No way any human or a machine can predict exactly what will happen. At this point, the reliability of an organization is tested. An organization which should be equipped with skills, means, and intent to timely address the crisis, take the responsibility, and stand with the client through thick and thin without wavering. To sum up, the core competences you should expect in an organization that would conduct outdoor classroom learning. Expertise with working with students. This is critical, required. Execution that maximizes learning, very important. Embedded rigorous safety standards in the program, this is critical, this is need of the hour. Last but not the least, educators specifically recruited, trained in the outdoor classroom education program for students travel, whose rules, procedures are set and defined. This is a very important area. Please note this. It should not be the person who is doing your ticketing and visa travels with the young minds. It cannot be like that. It is the way it is. Let us pledge, because this is a very important area which is lying unaddressed. Nobody is asking questions. Please ask us questions. Ask how they are learning. How are you showcasing what they are learning? Show me the tools that you are going to use this for the learning. Who is accredited? Who is accrediting me that I am the person defined to teach them anything? Who gives me the right to see what I am giving them is right? And what am I giving your students on the program, before the program, and after the program? How do the parents see what the children are going to learn? And how are they going to learn? So like I rightly said, if I start going on and on, I'll go off my time, so I'll stick to the script. So dear educators and principals, the last decade has allowed us to grow into India's largest student travel company. Today, schools from 32 cities across India choose us to be their travel partners, delivering excellence has earned us the trust and respect of some top institutions of the country. Yet, humbly, with folded hands and bowed head, every day we strive to do better. We strive harder to become, because as leaders, it is the onus of benchmarking the excellence in the domain of student travel lies on us. Cheers. Thank you, and I hope I'm before time. This is EdTerra. Thank you. Can I have the video, because I think I have saved 2 minutes, I can show that.
Big round of applause, please, everyone. William,
Stop that, because we are right on time. 10 minutes. Thank you, Ravi. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And after this is